Skullgirls took major heat after the censorship-filled patch released a few months ago, and the developers didn't back down because from the get-go, they didn't care what actual fans thought about it, and now we found out their scumminess knows no bounds because they have delisted the original game from the Xbox store. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and support via Patreon or through YouTube memberships. So I wanted to start with this Niche Gamer article. It says Skullgirls delists on Xbox 360 after censorship patch. It was discovered on social media the original Skullgirls has seemingly been delisted on the Xbox 360 following the release of a censorship patch. Skullgirls' second Encore was recently censored to remove offensive depictions and sexualizations of its female characters, and the game was censored previously to have exposed pantsu removed a couple of years ago, as well as Valentine's crosses. Now, it was, a couple of months ago, but the Skullgirl situation absolutely blew up, and people are still upset about it, rightfully so. When you have a favorite franchise and they just straight up admit they don't care about you as a fan and they're gonna do what they want, and then they drastically change content in a game, they deserve to lose your trust and also lose followers and support over that, and they definitely did. I don't think that they expected the backlash to be so severe, and it definitely was, and now they have removed the original game from the store. This was a tweet by Voice of Fan Service, but it says, yep, they delisted it, can't censorship patch the old version, so they removed it entirely. Now, there is a lot of speculation as to why they did this. Of course, people think that it's because, yes, it is a older game, and they cannot censorship patch the older version, so they decided to remove it entirely, and that is a reason why. But to be fair, there's also speculation that they removed it because in a year, in July 2024, the Xbox 360 store is shutting down, and the speculation is that for some reason they'd take it off the storefront now, but the problem with that is that it's backwards compatible with the Xbox One and Series XS, so you can still play it that way, and 360 games aren't just magically getting taken off the Microsoft store entirely. Like older Call of Duty, you'll still be able to buy it in the Microsoft store, just not on the 360 console itself. It's just the 360 that store is getting taken offline, but the backwards compatible games themselves will still be available to buy or play on newer consoles, and this is one of those titles, so I do genuinely think this is a matter of them not wanting the older game left up because they can't censorship patch it. I can't give them any benefit of the doubt because they don't care about their fans, because they have straight up admitted, well, if you don't like the changes, the problems are with you. It is just such a mess of a situation. I mean, I've covered Skullgirls quite a lot on the channel now. The scores tanked on Steam after the massive censorship update. The backlash continued as the company ignored fan outrage. But this is the problem, okay? A Skullgirls developer was caught attacking fans, and people who were criticizing the censorship, we were called creeps because they were like, well, why do you need this content in a game to enjoy it? That just says there's something wrong with you. And to top it off, Steam had protected the Skullgirls, and the negative reviews were hidden as off-topic review bombing. So there's just a lot to this situation as to why I cannot give them the benefit of the doubt, and why I can't believe, well, maybe it's just because the Xbox 360 store is going to be shutting down. No, I think that they did this specifically so we cannot enjoy uncensored content, so we cannot enjoy the previous game. And of course, this tweet has absolutely blown up. There are lots of people who are upset over this situation. People saying things like, I was one of the Kickstarter backers for this game. You don't know just how much of a heartbreak this is for me and how much of a backstab it truly is. Yeah, especially where this game is a decade old, right? You kickstart, support something, you've enjoyed it all of these years, and then the developers turn around and say that they don't care about you. That is just such a sad situation. But keep in mind, mind, most of the developers that are working on this now were not the original developers, so they basically had hijacked this franchise, hijacked Second Encore, and yeah, I mean, now they're changing everything. I mean, one of the major reasons why this all happened, why the censorship-filled update happened, was because the current devs decided that in the spirit of better reflecting our values and our broad vision moving forward, they were going to censor it. So basically, modern sensibilities got in the way of us enjoying the content that was already in the game. It's not like it was an optional toggle. If it was an optional toggle, that'd be fine, right? Because you could toggle the censorship on without, the certain imagery that they didn't like and they thought was too offensive, but you could also default have it off and enjoy the game in all of its glory. But nope, can't have that anymore because they don't agree with the content, so they're completely removing it and erasing it. People are saying things like, no surprise about the corpo waifus being censored. It's just a game, chill out, dude. If it's just a game, are you saying you don't enjoy games? There's gotta be a franchise that this person loves that one day could potentially be censored, and then they will be whining and moaning and groaning and complaining about it. And what are we gonna do? Say, well, man, it's just a game. See, nobody wants to be told that something that they love and they have nostalgia for, it's just a game, or it's just a book, or it's just a TV show, it's just a character. That's not the way that this works. As you can see, there are tons of replies from people who are just so upset over this situation, and yeah, I mean, you deserve to be upset if you have ever loved Skullgirls. It is sad to see the developers completely disregard what fans actually want, what could make them more money, and then start doing things like this, removing games, delisting them from storefronts, and then just not say anything about it. I do think that it is because they cannot censorship patch the older version of this game, so they've decided, you know what, we're just going to completely delist it and remove it, and you're just not going to be able to access it, but you can go and play Second Encore even though it is completely censored to hell and back. I do not trust these developers. I do not think that you should trust these developers because they have given us absolutely no reason to whatsoever. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.